Hi, welcome to Blueprint Codex, your visual dictionary for Unreal Engine. In this video, I'll talk about how to make your first game prototype. We will start the first step by setting up an Unreal project, and then adding assets from Fab, then making your first game menu. And last but not least, we will make sure to add your winning condition by using some simple blueprint. This video is for beginners who never made game in Unreal before, so we will use mostly existing assets and existing mechanics to try to understand simple blueprint, and we'll start from there. We'll start with setting up the project. When you open the Epic Launcher, click Unreal 5.6 to start. Here, go to Game Selection, and as you can see, we have different templates that we can use right away. For Unreal 5.6, we have different variants for each template too. For example, in first person, you can make a shooting game, or you can also make a survival horror game. For this tutorial, I'll use the third person and side-scroller variant. After that, you'll name the project side-scroll, and you can choose where you want to save the file here. Click create, and you will have a game that have the basic mechanic built in. The first thing that you have to know is how to navigate in Unreal Engine. So if you use left click, you can turn left and turn right. If you right click, you can pan the camera around and use ASWD to move. So left click and then AWSD, like when you're playing games. When you want to see how it is in the game mode, you can click play, and you will start to spawn in a level. You can also walk with AWSD too. And if you want to end the play session, you click escape. This is the first level when the file open up, but if you want to see the template that we selected, go to a variant side scroller, and this is the level. So here you can see the selected template here. I want to show you that this is the player start, or when you click play, the player will spawn into this location. And if we move this player start, we will spawn into the game in a different location, like this. And this is the content drawer where you can see all of the information, all the folder and things that you can import in. We're gonna start from adding some existing asset pack from Fab. Click add and Fab. Fab is a marketplace that a lot of game developers, 3D artists can sell their own asset or game mechanic or some blueprint. So you don't have to make everything from scratch, but you can come in here and scroll through. If you have some mechanic that you want, you can buy it, or sometimes they have a free for the month asset, so you should grab it. In Fab page, you can go through the category on the left hand side. This is the library that I've been collecting for a while, so I have some assets that I like. For this tutorial, I'll use this Rune of Emberstone asset pack as my environment asset. Click add to the project, add again, and now it's downloading Rune of the Emberstone asset pack to the file. While it's downloading, I will show you how to make a menu. One of the most important things about using Unreal is you have to be organized, so I will start off with creating new folder. First thing, I'll call it UI folder, and then 0 to level folder and blueprint. If you confuse what is level and what is blueprint, level is this scene, the scene that you can play the game in. Blueprint is the coding behind the mechanics. That's the easy way to understand it. I'm gonna start with creating levels, new level, call L menu, and we're gonna go into that level. So this is the blank level. We are gonna add some UI in. So go to the folder UI that we just made, user interface. This is right click, user interface, and then widget blueprint. Click user widget. I would say UI menu. In here you can see it's a blank thing, so you can add canvas panel. So this is the screen that you're gonna see. I always like to add some image as the background, so I will pull it into. One of the important things you should know when you make UI is anchor. What is anchor? Anchor is this flower logo that's flying around, floating around. It's the reference point when you make a game and the screen size is different. That thing will always anchor to that location. For right now, I'm gonna use this while holding control, so it's like the image is full screen. You can change color and opacity here. Whee! But I actually want the image, so we're gonna drag the image from file into this here and drag from this into the image. The image look a little bit too sharp, so I'm gonna add some blur background in. Once you add the background blur, don't forget to control and anchor the whole page. Then you can add the strength up and down, so it can be like this. Now we're gonna add some text. We'll start with adding vertical box to the canvas panel. Vertical box will keep the text and the button organized. I'll anchor it here. Adjust this as you liking. You can do it roughly by dragging around like this, or you can move the location here on the right hand side on the detail panel too. So I'll move this a little bit. More like this. Then I'm gonna add the text. So you can drag text and add it into the vertical box like this. Change the color of the text. And I want the horizontal alignment and change the color again, maybe like this. Okay, and then I want to add button so we can click it. I'm adding button to the vertical box like this, and also add text to the button. If you hover on, it will add inside, so when you move the button, the text will go with it. The text here, click the text to change the words. I want the first one to be start, and then Ctrl C, Ctrl V to make the next button. Click the text to change it to options, so in the future we can add option menu in. And the last one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, we're gonna make the quit button. Right now it looks like it's stacked all together, so I'm gonna add some padding at the bottom of it, so it's a little bit separating. Now some final adjustment. Cool. And this is the visual side of the UI. You can play around with it. We can add more color, add more blur and some effects. But for right now, this is the simple version of it. Now we want to start adding some coding inside, so we can do it in Blueprint here in Graph. And whenever we want to toggle back, click the designer. So I'm gonna compile and save this first before we start that. So to add that UI into play mode here, we have to open the level blueprint. Right now we are in level menu. To add the level blueprint, we have to open level blueprint, and event begin play is whenever we click play. This is the first command that's gonna start. We will start with create widget, so we can add the UI that we just made in, and then we call it UI menu. To recheck, we can see it's the UI menu, and then add to viewport. Don't forget to connect the value here. Compile and save. Click play. So now we can see that the menu pops up correctly. Great start. So now we're gonna start adding some interaction. First thing, don't forget to change the name to stay organized. So we're gonna change the name first. Button start. This is button option, and this is button quit. Button is great because we can make an event. I want on click to open the level that we saw before, the green one with the side scroller. We can start by using open level. Once you have on click event, we want to open the level, and we can do it by name or by object reference. Personally, I like the by object reference more because you won't misspell it. If you do it by name, you can't have a typo on. So side scroller level, yes, level side scrolling. If you forget what is the name of the level, go into the folder and look up that one. Side scrolling, perfect. And also we want to set something up here on the event construct, which is the same thing with event begin play in the level blueprint, but because this is widget, so it's different name, but it's the same thing. So on the event construct, once we have the UI on the screen, we want to get player controller, and then set mouse cursor. Set show mouse cursor, and then pull it in. So once the UI is on the screen, we want to see the cursor so we can click it. And then set input to UI mode only. This means we are interacting in the UI mode, not the game mode. And this is important because when we open the level, we want to move from UI mode to game mode. So after we set open level, we have to also get player controller and set show mouse cursor from here. We don't want to see the cursor anymore after we entering the level. And then, so we uncheck the box. Then we set Nice. So this is the basic setup. You can compile and save. And go back to the designer one. We also want to add some interaction for quit game. You can just do the same thing on the event. On click, quit game. Then compile and save again. Let's see. So let's click play start. Yay! Now you're in the level. Don't forget to plug in the player controller too, because if we didn't plug in, we cannot start and run. Now let's see and do it again. We can see the error on the message log here when we escaped. So start. Now we can walk around now. Don't forget to plug in the player controller. And let's go back to that level. Now we want to use that level as a pause menu too. So while you're playing and you want to pause and restart at the beginning of the level again, you can do it. So similarly, go to open level blueprint. On the event begin play, we're not gonna do it there anymore. We're just gonna use debug keyboard. Personally, I like to use number 2. So I'm just gonna type 2 keyboard. This is whenever I press 2. That will come up. So same thing, create widget, and UI menu, and add to viewport. Compile and save. Let's see, while we're playing in this level, whee! And you press 2. Now we can start again and go back to the beginning. So this will be very useful when you start to play testing with your friend. This part is after we downloaded the asset pack. We will see the name in the content folder. I downloaded Rune of the Emberstone. So when we click in, we can see different folder for different things. In the asset, we can see all of the pieces. Texture for each one, and then grass for some foliage. To start off, I really like to just plan it out by go to asset and then click and drag into the scene. Basic navigation is ASWD, and to move, you can click the wheel. You can click E for rotation, and you can click R for scale. If you don't like to use shortcut, you can also click here. Sometimes I just do it here. To copy, you can click Windows, hold the window button, and then drag it out so it's copied and duplicated. You can add more stuff. This part can take quite a while. So I'm just gonna do a couple of pieces to explain, but we're not gonna do the whole scene here. Another thing that's important to know is how to change the material color. When we click something, we can see the material slot here. And then when we click the magnifier here, we can see, oh, this is the material. Before you manipulate anything, always create material instance so it not mess up with the original one. Once you created the material instance, you can change the property here. I think I want orange color like this. So save the new one, and you can just drag it in here like this. Now you change some material color. also want to change this, but this one I want it to be original. Yay! And maybe delete this one out. Another thing that I really like to make the scene look different is change the lighting. So as you can see here, we have the skylight and the directional light. Once we click the directional light, we can also change the color. Or we can change the intensity of the light. So something like this. And we have the cloud, volumetric cloud. I think I will delete the cloud. You can change the sky atmosphere here. I think I want to shift it to the darker blue for this. And maybe a little bit like this. Yay! And change the light to be a little bit warmer. Okay. I'm going to drag this in. Now, once we click play, we can walk around with the asset inside of the level. Last but not least, for the environment, if the asset pack that you downloaded come with some foliage like grass, we can paint the grass on the ground. To do all the landscape thing, you go to foliage. And here you can drop in the foliage here. Save, click it. And the sphere here is the brush. So you can scale up and down, similar to the Photoshop, and you can start painting the grass onto the surface. You can add the density to make it denser here, and you can also change the brush size over here. This is really big. So, and then you can change back to the selection mode and click play. Now you can walk around and change the scene. Step is how to create the winning condition, and we're just gonna use the same blueprint that we just learned, which is open level, and add the winning level at the end. So go to the level, create new level, winning. Save selected. To add basic things into empty level, you click here and then shape, clean. You can't see anything because there's no lighting, so also adding some light, directional light. I want to scale up a little bit so when we jump in it's a little bit bigger. And we'll go to content and make another folder that will contain all the blueprint. 03 blueprint. Here I'm gonna add some text to the scene. We'll start with blueprint class, enter text win. In this one, we're just gonna add some text render. Select the text render and you can change the text Here. You won! Yay! Compile and save. I will put this into the scene. Also move like this. And I want to try play. Oops! We're not in the correct location. So we will move both this. We're not starting. We're not spawning into the correct location. So we're just gonna add basic player start here. And let's try it again. Swing. So now whenever we spawn to this level, it will be in front of the text. Once we finish preparing the winning level, we'll go back to our game. After we make the winning level, we want to add some box. So when player overlap with that box, we will open that level. We're gonna start going to the blueprint folder, right click, blueprint class, actor, BP, box. Okay. So we're gonna start with box collision. This is the area that whenever the player come in, we can add the event. And I will use on component begin overlap. Once the player overlap with the box, I'm gonna open level by object reference, and we're gonna use that one. Once we have it, we can add it to the scene by drag it in. Let's try it out. So play, coming in. Yay! Now you jump into this level and you won. I hope you enjoy making your first game prototype. Don't forget to play testing with your friends, share it to the world. Stay juicy, keep making cool stuff, and see you next time.